Honey. Hi, everyone. This is Honey. No, don't bite my mic right away.
She says, but that's the funnest thing to bite.
Give it a little tail.
Is that a word?
That tail. Funnest.
The most fun?
The most fun. The funnest thing in the world.
Honey.
The most fun thing in the world. I'm not sure.
I think funnest is
What do you guys think? Is funnest a word, or is it always most fun? Feel free to chime in. Put your opinion in the comments
here, guys.
Comments below.
Funner is a word. That's a word, though, right? It's an actual word.
Funner.
God, now,
I don't think funner. Well, wait. If funnest is a word, then funner.
Oh, Josh said, yeah, it's a word.
That's not what he's saying.
Yeah, he agrees.
He said the
me.
sound is good. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. This is episode 204. This is Honey. I'm Bethany. This is Sparky. Please put your doggy questions below. We want the age and breed of your dog, and we do only answer puppy questions. All right.
How do I know it's summer? Because I don't have as many questions to answer on our papers for the ones that people submit. Happens every summer. Come on, guys. Oh,
right.
shoot, my phone.
Yeah, TikTok, tickety-tock. That's your job.
Talking trash to the people. I forgot my own stuff.
Okay, we got a question. You can also ask questions. Hi, YouTubers. You can ask questions based off YouTube videos, and we try to grab them when we can. Oh, excuse me. Where are you going? Excuse me. No.
Going for my mic, probably.
Stay up here. So, Takini says, 1-bedroom apartment, China, 2-month-old miniature poodle. I build him a playpen. He goes to sleep in there at night, cleaning the house, whatever the case is, where she can supervise him. The puppy's in the playpen. It does have space for a bed, water, pee pads, all those things. I don't have a crate. Should I get a crate too?
I would personally get a crate for the times that you're home, so your puppy can be out of your sight, away from you, and it's more safe for them. You can't really put a playpen outside of your line of sight with them inside of it without, there's a couple little risks that you have to think about. Yeah. And some people are able to do it when they leave for work, but they make it very Spartan. There's a little bowl, and usually it's not on the ground. It's kind of hanging from one of those little water feeders if you want to be extra careful. There's a dog bed in there. It doesn't have the stuffing that they can pull out, swallow, and possibly choke on. And then they do have, maybe a crate inside of there if that's what you're doing. But for us, it's more about safety.
Yep.
When I'm home, I want my puppy in a safe environment away from me, out of line of sight, so I can start working through any normal puppy separation anxiety. Every puppy has it. They come to you with it. It's just very, very light for some of them. You're already working through that just by using crate. And then when I have my puppy out of the crate, I want to give them some free time where they exist around us. That's when I use my playpen. But I don't know if I'd put a crate in there or a water bowl or a dog bed or any of that. I'm kind of using that differently with my crate. So when I bring my dog out, I'm doing some walks, some play, some training. I'm trying to cover all the big basics, all the 4 quadrants Bethany likes to mention. The break time, the play time, the free time, the train time, all of that. And then once you've covered all that, then you can set up a playpen, put them inside there. Maybe you put a bed in there if they like to lay on the bed. And they hang out for 20, 30 minutes before going back to the crate. So you're covering all the basics of what they need physically and mentally to be tired. You're giving them some existence work with you. And then once they're tired, you put them back in the crate so they can rest, relax, recuperate, rinse, repeat, try it again.
Yeah, for me, the crate, I've just seen too many things. I've been around too long. Seen too many things leaving the home with a puppy in a playpen. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like, personally, I could look at a puppy and judge if they were in danger in the type of playpen I have, potentially in the next 2 months, if I leave, because I can kind of look at temperament and demeanor and things like that. But we don't expect owners to do that, so I would do crating when you leave, and I would have it just a regular part of your routine because of that. With that being said, Takini, if you are very happy with your dog's behavior, if the dog is calm, it doesn't jump up and touch the playpen even when you walk by, it's pretty chill, it's not sticking its nose through the bars, and it's just like a really easy dog. They do exist. I know it's hard to believe.
We call them unicorns.
Yes.
But they're out there.
Or cupcake dogs.
Honey, did you just crawl over to bite my arm?
And look at it. It's just so
she
cute.
Literally crawled
She's
over,
so cute.
just put her whole mouth and just started holding.
Yeah, she's
I think it's because she's biting me again because you're rubbing that butt.
She's enjoying herself.
I'm getting the butt bites.
But anyway, if that is you, then you probably do have an easier dog, at least for now. And ignore us and do what works for you, but look for those red flags. Okay?
If anything, we just gave you another option. It's kind of like the opposite of what you're doing. In case what you're doing isn't working the way you want it, now you have a second option.
That's a good way of doing it, saying it.
You wouldn't have thrown the question in if you didn't want it, so we gave it to you.
A1CO3 says 6-month-old Maltipoo runs everywhere outside. Inside he's great, but outside he runs. I find this very funny, very humorous. I had a Malti Pom for many, many years. And when she was young, I swear she was the death of me. I grew up with older dogs, and this dog, I swear, had more stamina and could like outrun stamina-wise these dogs. It was insane. Like, we don't give small dogs enough credit. We really don't. You know, for me, 6-month-old, you're getting into adolescence. You need a leash on your dog at all times, and you can go on Amazon and get a 15, maybe 20-foot long lead if you think you can handle that extra footage. Some people use flexi leashes. We are a huge fan of never using flexi leashes, but there are some trainers that do it and teach it ethically. They're just a little dangerous for me. But I don't know where you live. So yeah, there
Give
you
my
go.
dog.
I don't know where you live and what would be most appropriate. For me, I would go to the park and do long lead work. Even in my backyard, I would have a long lead on my dog, constantly work on redirecting. You know, my dog goes out, sniff, 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 or starts to go into zoomy mode. And I'm just using those distractions as come, food, break, let him go out again. Come, food, break, let him go out again 20 times. So harness that energy, take that energy and harness it and refocus it into training. But I don't know if you're doing this or not, but everybody out there, stop asking things of your dogs that you can't back up. Puppies are, if you live with a puppy in your house, outside dogs are different. If you live with a puppy in your house, those leashes are on those puppies, supervised only, of course, for months, and in the yard for months, because you're trying to shape how they view their life with you. And if you ask for a come, have to say no, anything like that, you gotta be able to back it up because they're learning everything about you. And when you lose control and you're repeating yourself a million times and you gotta go and get the food bag after you've asked 5 times in your nice voice, stern voice, and they're still ignoring you, you're conditioning, training them to ignore you. And it's gonna get real bad real fast. So I would just say, get that leash in there and start harnessing it.
I love that. That was great. That was great.
All right, I'm going to jump over to Suzanne Jones. Howdy. All right, 13-week-old. Ooh, I love Australian Labradoodles. He's doing so well with all of his trains. Is he an Australian Labradoodle? Looks like it. They're red a lot of times with the little white spots. He does so well with training. Never wants to be alone, though. Ugh, this one's yours. Sleeps in his crate all night, but won't let me out of sight. I don't want him to have negative something. So I don't know about the negative, but you've got separation anxiety.
Yeah, you might have
13 weeks old.
Oh man, I just started working with a private client that has the same thing. It's tough. Here, I'm gonna pass on honey.
That's why I was like,
I can. Before we get into a tough conversation, we'll pass on honey.
Because this stuff is hard. It's no fun.
Man, where do we start? Like, it's nothing we're about to say for the next 5 minutes is going to be fun for anyone listening, but it's the hard truth that some dogs have separation anxiety from a young age, and it's like true separation anxiety.
Yeah.
It's not
genetic.
Just the, oh, I'm not next to mom and dad, I'm sad. It's like, no, I have a physical need to be around you. If I don't have you,
Drooling.
I feel like I'm shutting down.
Why?
So, the crate stuff. I mean, you probably heard us tell you a million things about the crate stuff. All of that, all of the things we've always told you guys, that's going to happen for the crate. But it's more about what you do outside the crate. Bethany likes a phrase, nothing lives outside of vacuum.
Yeah.
So what that basically means is it's not the crate that's going to help you with your separation anxiety. It's actually all the things you're going to do outside of the crate. When I have a dog at 13 weeks old who has severe separation anxiety, jump in whenever you want to if you feel something's a little bit different. She works with younger puppies with severe separation anxiety. When I have my dog out, it's all work. It's not really a lot of fun yet. It's not really a lot of affection. Everything is earned. So if I play with my dog, it's earned through training. If I give my dog anything, it's earned through training. And probably for the first couple weeks of starting training, I might fully cut affection for those 2 weeks, just so I know. I told you it's not a fun conversation, but why do we cut that affection? Because right now your dog has an expectation of affection, and even if you don't give a lot of it, it's possible the breeder could have done it. It's possible that it's a genetic aspect that they got in the first 3 weeks of being alive from some experience with the mother. sometimes that happens. You cut affection to up your value, so everything becomes earned. When you're training your dog and they don't want to take food because all they can focus on is jumping on your leg and getting attention from you, that's kind of what happens. So when we cut the affection out, they start learning to want food, and they start learning to follow lures and play with toys. You become a little bit less to them to make everything else more important. Your value is still extremely high. You're still the most important thing to them, but we have to up the value of food and leash work and toy work and like lure work in order for that relationship to kind of flip to make them able to work again, to make them, go.
I was just going to say, and while you're doing all those things, you're removing the emotion out of it. So it's not just petting. It's, oh, good job, good boy. And it's adding a lot of emotion or excitement, arousal to what you're saying.
Arousal, that was the word I was going for.
I thought you were searching
I
for
was
something.
working to 5 minutes. I was working towards that damn word.
It's been so long that we've been doing this. I'm like, he's searching for something.
Why don't you just say the damn word next time?
I didn't know what it was. I could just tell you're
arousal. That's the best word to explain everything I just said without me talking for 5 minutes and working around it. So arousal basically means that when my dog walks up and they put their paws on me and I give them a pet, it's arousal that makes them want to jump. But I'm also rewarding them when I pet them. So I'm rewarding that jump, and I'm actually promoting it more and more often. My dog comes up, I ask them to sit, and when I say, good, they start wiggling, really start getting jiggly, and I'm like, ooh, good. And they're like, still wiggly, but not as much. And I'm like, okay, that's an improvement. Yeah. That's what we're rewarding. So when we get that arousal, we don't want to reward arousal all the time. And it's not a sexual thing for dogs. It's energy, it's excitement, it's drive, it's a need, it's a want, it's whatever they're going for. That's arousal.
Notice he didn't say happy. Everybody thinks it's happiness. It's not. It's overexcitement, overstimulation, arousal. It's not happiness. Happy is different.
Yeah. We get happiness usually after you work through overstimulation.
Yeah.
That's true happiness. It's not the anxious happiness.
I'd like to add something to that. The other thing I would add to it is that my going into this would be to do a session with a trainer. You could do like a virtual, when it comes to this kind of training, and really figure out your day. Like, you need to go through your day with a professional and really break it down. And what would be the best time to do this and do this and do this, because it's really important. Separation anxiety is very multifaceted. Like he said, it has way more to do with outside of the crate than in the crate. Once you do that, we do have an online school, and that would be very beneficial for you in a number of ways. I would still say get a one-on-one. I would still absolutely say get some one-on-one help, even if that is through a Zoom, which I do, by the way. But anyway, I would say once you get that plan in place, don't do it now. You got to get it in place, and you start stacking the work balanced with, we call it work time and then play time, and you start stacking like what helps best for draining mental and physical energy. Then this is a hard thing. This is why you don't do it right now. You are not going to allow your puppy to be out of crate for like 3 days to rest. So what do I mean by that? We talk about Playpen. We talk, well, it's just an add-on to it. It's a lot. Mm-hmm. There's so much to separation anxiety. So it's just an add-on. Once you're ready to dig into this and get that schedule down, and maybe you got like a 3-day holiday weekend where you can do this, is you are not allowing, the playpen time or the cuddle time or the at your feet or the roam around the house. You're going to devote 3 days to hardcore crate rotation. Comes out of crate, work, playtime, which work could be walk, training, whatever that is. Playtime, maybe repeat. If some 13-week-old dogs are really driven, and you could do 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes.
We don't see them slowing down.
Yeah.
Double it.
Exactly. Thank you. If you don't see them slow down after their work and playtime, and then double it, and do some calm crate patterning to just finish it off, and then the dog goes back in crate. 2 hours later, 1 hour later, I don't know. You have to figure out your system for your day. They come back out again, and it's active work again, and then it's back in crate, active work. By day 3, the whining, the anxiety, all of that. They never got to rest outside of crate. By day 3, they can't hold it anymore. They can't stay awake anymore. And they will rest in crate. and then they will learn I didn't die and I'm able to sleep in crate alone. Look at that.
There is such thing as a rational fear for dogs.
Yeah.
And the problem is that they don't rationalize it like humans do.
Yeah.
So we look to our siblings, our family, everyone else as an example to follow. Dogs don't. So it might seem irrational. It might seem just like utter fear inside the crate, but it's all irrational.
It's irrational,
It's it's our opportunity to find that one window where we can actually get them to see it's not that scary.
Yeah.
It's not that horrible. It's all those times though that your puppy is sleeping outside of crate that you're actually training puppies with severe separation anxiety that crate is for barking, outside is for sleeping.
Yeah.
That's what she was telling you just now is you might be accidentally reversing it by using Playpen.
And then or free time.
Or free time, yeah.
And then the other thing that's really hard, I don't suggest this for everyone. In fact, I really should know more about you one-on-one, and this is your situation before I say this, but just so everybody can know, sometimes having the dog with you in the same room at night is appropriate. I prefer that. I think dogs are very social animals and they should be with their family, and everybody should sleep together. They're in their crate, but in the same room. Since you're getting in on this so early, 13 weeks, once I'm ready to dig into this, I would put the puppy in a different room for at night for the entire time until this improves. And then when it's much, much better, then I would try to wean back in, crate in my room. If you even want to at that point, it's up to you. Everybody has their soft spots, and mine is sleeping. I think we should all sleep together like in a den. We're all in a den. Okay, anyway. But I would try to, that would be something I would be working towards, but I really think it would be beneficial once you're ready to dig into this to actually put him in a completely different room at night. And that means he might be whining and carrying on at night. So it also depends on where you live, and you live in an apartment and all those things. Okay, we gotta go. Move on.
I got a lot of good ones.
Hopefully that helps you, Suzanne. All right, TikTok, we're coming to you. What do you got?
I got some good ones. All right. First one from A. Heart. All right. Is it normal for my puppy to play and bite the leash? It is quite hard to redirect her. Bethany, go.
Oh, man. But see, we're not supposed to do stories anymore for this, and I had a story.
Don't give a story.
No,
just tell her to do leash pressure. Okay. You explain it quicker than I do.
I know, but...
You have 1 minute. Go.
Pressure. I can't handle. Okay, so do I have age?
I don't think so.
Dang it, I need age. I'm going to put you off. Come back and tell me the age of your puppy. Because I really do need age. Because if this is a 10
It's going to be so far down for her to put the age. I got like 30 questions
I don't
after
care.
Her.
The short, until I get the age, the short version is if this is a 10, 12, 16-week-old puppy, you shouldn't be really using leash too much. It should be like leash pressure food. The leash is not pulled. It's just there to stop your puppy from leaving too soon.
Reflex.
It's just stopping your puppy from getting into stuff while you're working them. It should all be like food, body language, food, body language. And the leash is just there for tension, not for communication, except just to stop them.
Tension, resistance, waiting them out.
Not
Other
pulling.
hand comes in with food. When they give into the leash to go to the food, you physically release your arm even more to really make it obvious.
Because you have to teach what pressure means. However, if you already have I was going to talk to you about this too later.
What?
Yeah, if you already have a 9-month-old dog that is biting up the leash and
Totally
just
different.
about
That's why she asked for age.
Well, we'll wait though. So yeah, you can do pressure up, out and away from you, settle the dog down. But if other parts of the relationship, like if you're getting a lot of nipping and biting, jumping up, destruction in the home, the dog might just get worse when you try to settle the dog down with leash pressure. That's what we would typically say.
If you pet your dog when he jumps, that won't work.
Yeah, if you're having a whole host of other stuff, he's likely to just challenge you back. It depends on his temperament and your relationship. But yeah, so there's the short answer. But yeah. Okay, do you get another one?
I got a compliment from someone.
Oh,
Karen,
Lord.
we appreciate you. Your videos have saved my life over the last 8 days, and I have a 9-week-old Labrador.
It's not your compliment, it's our compliment.
I said she complimented us.
No, you didn't.
I'm gonna rewatch
You
the
did.
replay.
That's not what he said. He said I got a compliment. Yeah, you said I got a compliment from someone.
No, I said we did.
No.
Oh, I'm gonna rewatch the replay
No.
now. I think
There was no
lying.
we. There was no we. There was no us. Anyway, thank you.
I think I
Thank
said
you very much.
All right, from Maria O'Brien. What are the best ways to mentally stimulate a 4-month-old puppy.
Mine.
All right, so how you do that is you start by doing...
Mine. Okay, so every Instagram and the Tickety Talk wants you to buy all the things. Get the puzzle toys and get the this and get the that. Stop it right now. You guys aren't developing any relationship with your dog when you do that, okay? Cut it out with the licky mats and all the stuff because you worked too much and now you got a puppy, okay? Let's talk about real stuff. Two things. Every threshold, every door that opens, front door, back door, crate door, car door, bedroom door, anything that opens, your dog needs to sit and wait for permission to go through it, okay? This is the best mental impulse control work in the whole world for puppies. Excuse me. Okay, so there's multiple ways to do this. I do want you to start with the traditional sit for a piece of food. Here's a piece of food. Open the door a little, close the door, piece of food. Okay, let's go.
Can you tell that's boring to her? That's the boring teaching part.
Yeah. And then very quickly, I want you to get your body involved. And this dog is on leash from the time it comes out of crate when you're really ready to dig into this. Yes, 4 months old, 8 weeks old. They just wouldn't sit at 8 weeks old. They just stand there. You're actually using your body to block the dog. You go to open the door, but you didn't tell them sit. So they're going to try to rush out the door because obedience can be a Band-Aid. This is about the brain, baby. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually use our legs and the leash to block. Have the dog pause, like hurting the dog. Like, no.
This is dog head.
This is dog. So you're using your legs and the leash to help you if needed. You go to open the door. He tries to go around you. You block. The dog tries to get around you or touches you. You touch the dog back with your leg. Pause. Everybody breathe. You're not done. Turn your hips to the side. That puppy is going to eat up space because it looks like open hips means go on through. No. You got to wait for permission, buddy. You're going to block again until that brain isn't in follower mode anymore. And it's waiting. You're teaching him to wait. Look at an open door, open hips. Now let's go. You do it with crate door. We open it 2 inches. The dog tries to go through. We shut the crate. We open it 2 inches. Dog's nose breaks that plank. Shut the crate until we can open that door. And the dog doesn't have to be sitting if we haven't trained sit in crate. This isn't about obedience. This is about the brain, baby. So the brain has got to be back. That door's got to be open. They can be standing, but they've got to be back. Then I invite out. That's my number one. Number two is long lead work. Get a 15-foot leash, go into your yard, have your puppy on a long lead. They can run around a little bit and just randomly, regularly recall them. Come, piece of food. Come, piece of food. I like turns. I like practicing let's go turns like I'm on a walk, except I'm in my yard. Even if it's a small yard. Even if I have a little tiny dog run beside my house. That's all I've got. It's perfect. Mix up come with a sit down piece of food and then just turning, let's go, turning, let's go, piece of food, turning, let's go, piece of food on a long lead. There you go.
Pretty good.
It was pretty good, right? It was pretty good.
I have the second one. I like your first one. It's almost like more basic than anyone would ever think. Just thresholds.
Yeah.
Crate door, bedroom door, hallway door, back door, front door.
It's everything.
It's what we go over in our first lesson at the main school, Puppy Academy.
Yeah.
Every lesson.
And it's in our online school too.
Karen had a follow-up, besides her compliment to me alone, and not you. You know. Karen, what is the best way to handle my 9-week lab pup who loses her mind during car rides? Oh, the impulse of car rides. Well, if she has free roam, there's not much you can do about it because it's just too much space for her to go back and forth on. But also, why is she going back and forth? The car is stimulating all those sights going by her face. She's going window to window. She's seeing people outside walking.
It's over here, by the way.
Oh, shoot.
And puppies get sick
Why
easily.
do we put this phone on my side? Why don't we put this phone on your side?
Puppies get sick easily too.
Yeah, there's a lot of elements. So what's the first thing I'm going to do? Ideal, small dog, small car. I'll probably get a crate, like a little plastic, like a travel crate. They tend to even have a little seatbelt slip on top. I'm not putting it sideways facing the open door. I'm turning it forward facing the front windshield of the car. If your dog is ever going to be car sick, this will be the ways to prevent it or at least help as much as you possibly can.
If your lab puppy is already too big for that, then turn it to the side, but get a cover for the crate.
Yes. I'll explain that in a second. Wait, let me work up to that. Face it forward, seatbelt goes through it. That's for a small crate that can face forward because dogs that look out the side windows are a lot more likely to get sick. She taught me that because her dog gets sick when he looks out the side window.
Dusty dog.
When they're facing forward, a little bit of AC on their face, a little bit of like air on their face. I don't know why, but she told me that one too.
It helps, yeah.
And
Or window down. Don't let your dogs hang their head out the window, but just cracking the window.
Fair and safe. My dog almost fell out of the window, and I stopped doing it the second that happened.
Yep.
But I actually seatbelt in for stability, and sometimes I'll even put some bigger items next to it to create a little bit more stability there. Cover the sides so they can't look out the side windows. Facing forward. Yeah. That's my advice. Do you want to add to that?
Yeah. Everything that I just answered in the previous question, she asked how can she do mental work with her dog. What you're dealing with is anxiety. And the way I answered that last question about mental work for a dog or puppy, it was a puppy, but dogs or puppies, you need to be doing that. You need to be really strict about thresholds, really practicing that mental impulse control, because if you're dealing with this at 9 weeks, I'm afraid it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. And you're going to have to really do a lot of work at calming down. Like something as simple, same for kids, something as simple as rushing, shoes on, grab purse, grab dog out the door, pick up, put in crate. You have just ruined a dog that already had a little bit of anxiety. So it's really important to go slow, take your time on those thresholds, do not rush. If you need to rush, and I've done this before, put your puppy in crate, get all your crap together, and then get the dog out.
I would prefer to do that even if I wasn't rushing. Because now I'm taking my time.
Yeah, if you're not emotionally regulated, you cannot help an anxious dog. That's for sure. Same with kids. So anyway, please keep that in mind. And the crate, 9 weeks old, that's so young. The crate is like not an option for you because of how young this puppy is. You've got to do the crate because it's going to take me weeks to shape a downstay that can be held when anxious. Weeks. And so 9 weeks old is too young to expect that. That's why I say weeks. And so you got to do that crate to help them out. And so I hope that kind of gets you over the hump a little bit.
Another option for other people, not you. You won't be able to do this option because your dog moves too much. But other option for people who have bigger dogs, smaller cars, you can do a seatbelt. The harness that I recommend is called Sleepy Pod. Sleepy Pod, if you guys are out there, you better send us a commission for that. But Sleepy Pod, that's what we use for all of our dogs. I've personally crashed cars and rolled them, and we've had dogs that were in them that were, hurt, but not dead. So it's one of the only crash-rated harnesses on the market where they've actually done crash studies with fake dogs with mechanics inside of them in cars. It's one of the only ones I trust. Obviously, we still recommend crate, but if you got to do a harness, we had small cars, big dogs. That's what we used. That's what we trusted.
Super smart. It'll save a human life as well if you have big dogs.
Yeah, it would. It would.
Okay, guys, we were a little late, so I want to do... I don't want to push you off, Jessica Bernal from over here. 10-month-old Yorkie barking at people coming in the house. I don't know what to do at this point. Small dogs, in my opinion, do take longer to train than big dogs, but they need the same. Also, huge dogs. So it's like really huge dogs and really small dogs tend to take more time than the average middle-sized dogs. So you're not crazy if you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? Why is this not working? It can be harder with smaller dogs, is just my point. For me, 10 months old is definitely full-blown adolescent. Yorkshire Terriers are terriers. They're bred to kill things, and so they don't anymore. And this is a really common issue we see with Yorkshire Terriers.
See what they're bred for again.
To kill things, to kill small rodents. Yeah, over and over and over again.
Ships?
On castles,
in
big homes,
farms,
in factories, on farms, all the things.
I only want her to mention that again because a lot of us get certain dogs because they're cute, they're sweet, and we've seen them before doing a certain thing. This is what they're originally bred for, which means it's always in there somewhere.
Yep.
Some dogs have more instinct, more drive than others. If your dog is doing more of it, it has higher drive, higher instincts. It's not like your friend's Yorkie or Maltese or whatever it is.
Yorkies are notorious, intense barkers in our world, in the city, where they...
City especially.
Yeah, they just don't have people forget they're like tiny little pit bulls. And so or Jack Russells. And so that's a good one. Just remember that.
They don't tend to be super bitey, but they do tend to be super vocal and ankle bitey.
Ankle bitey.
That's why I said Jack Russell.
So anyway, with that in mind, I'm telling you that because I don't want to just put you off, but we are over time. The answer we gave TikTok to how to mentally stimulate my 4-month-old puppy, it's the same for you. What kind of outlet is this dog getting? Because I can tell you, try pet corrector as a punisher. Make sure you have a good place command, because what you'll do is you'll go and it might stop the dog for a second and be like, what the heck was that? Come, food, place. And place is taught as stay, and then you start practicing, going to the door, coming back to the dog, rewarding quiet, and they hop off place. No, body language, move back, bump into a tiny little dog, which is very challenging, but you got to do it. It's still a dog.
It's almost like you're just sliding your feet on,
yeah.
like electric sliding your feet towards them. That's
and,
all you got.
And more gently blocking, but you have a leash on the dog to guide. But here's the thing. None of that's going to work if you're not mentally fulfilling the dog to some degree. And so I hope you'll listen to those mental challenge questions on the thresholds and the long lead on harness for a Yorkie, and keep that in mind. And please come back to us next week if you've got any follow-up. Sorry, I didn't get to go more in depth. Any quick ad?
Nope.
All right, guys.
Hey, Ricky,
thank you so much.
I want this video. I'm going to find it and see if I compliment both of us or just one of us.
Oh my
I want
gosh.
the video.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.